So Tribes of Midgard is now available as free as part of PlayStation Plus, and the giants, the Jotunn, are a big part of the game. They'll come and attack your village, and if they get through, it's pretty much game over if they can get close to your tree. There's plenty of ways to take them on, and there is 4 different types with all different elemental strengths and weaknesses. So I'm going to give you a quick tips guide on how to defeat all 4 of them. So Eirador is pretty formidable. He's an ice giant, of course, so if you've got any kind of flame weapons, absolutely use them or craft some flame arrows. As always, aim for the opposite elemental damage type. Here though, I've got lightning damage, and that is still doing a decent amount. Obviously what you don't want to try using is any ice weapons. Of course, if it's all you've got, then go for it, but yes, you'll do more damage using anything but ice, and fire is the best. This is level 2, so they always have 66,000 HP, that's if you're playing solo. At level 1 the giants have 40,000 HP, and level 3 they have 81. He's actually one of the easiest giants to face off against. You can always choreograph his attacks, you can see he gives plenty of time for you to get out of the way from his fist pound. And the same again with his foot stump, although here I was just waiting on him because I already had something that could do a lot of damage with my poison health pool. He won't spawn any adds or any other methods to deal with you, it's simply a case of him just doing the same attacks. That said, any of these actual hits hit you and you could be a goner, especially when he throws his ice lumps at you. So make sure you get your hits in, but also look out and make sure that you can dodge out of the way or negate it with some sort of healing item. He'll drop some ancient cores, of course, health potions, a cold proof elixir, some Jotunn fragments, of course a ton of souls, and his jaw. The jaw is what you need to use for some of the later game armors and weapons. Next up is Jarnsaxa, and she is obviously a giant of lightning damage. She'll fire these orbs at you that will explode once they get close enough, but they do give you a good enough time that you should be able to dodge and move around and run. Sometimes if you run around too much though, they won't explode for absolutely ages, so you kind of have to stop and start to hopefully get rid of them. Jarnsaxa also summons a totem that deals lightning damage to you. The orbs are the real killer though, they can easily take away a lot of your health in one hit. It still has a massive ground pound attack as well. As soon as that totem spawns in, you want to take care of that and then wail on Jarnsaxa. Dark energy, i.e. poison, is the best for dealing with this one. You can see how many bonus green arrows I'm getting from taking it down. And again, I'm using that health pool, which gives me health, but also does damage to any creatures inside it to good effect. You'll get that from one of the quite early upgrades in the sword path. Look out for the totems, they'll still persist after you defeat Jarnsaxa, so you don't want to be taken out by them. And your rewards for doing so will be the shard of her Jarnsaxa's brooch, some more ancient cores, health potion, and a speed elixir. Obviously you still get Jotunn fragments and plenty of souls. You can craft some decent lightning damaged gear with this. The boulder set is the main one. Next up is the giant goddess of poison or dark energy, Grabboda. Now I found this fairly okay solo. It was actually again more of a problem when I played with others because of the amount of adds that spawn. They have much bigger health pools. You obviously want to be using any kind of lightning damage weapons or lightning arrows. Not only does she have the adds, she can also summon a giant fist from the ground, and that does a hell of a lot of damage too, but should swiftly be able to dodge out the way of most of it. The biggest problem for me is definitely them adds. Like I said, in solo mode it's not so much of a big deal, but yeah, when you're playing with others they can quickly overwhelm you. And you got to be on the lookout for that fist that can also come out at the same time. Her last power she has is generating 3 pools that will do damage if you get caught inside them. With her hair as one of the rewards, you'll be able to go ahead and craft the Signon's blade items, and again the usual, lots of ancient cores, lots of souls, but you'll also usually get a mana potion. And last but not least, we've got Logi, which of course is the fire giant. So use ice weapons on this guy, and obviously don't use any fire weapons if you can help it. Now I've yet to face off against him on the PlayStation. You're looking at old footage when I played it on either PC back in the day when it first launched. Like a year ago, as if back in the day was like 20 years ago. And he's pretty formidable. He's pretty close or similar to Eirador though, the ice giant, in that he'll do a foot stump, he'll also smash down with his sword and then drag it along the ground sometimes, or simply hit the ground in front of him and he leave a huge wave. So you need a combination of being able to dodge out the way, but also look out for the pools of lava as they can do damage to you too. You're best off trying to get this guy from range unless you have got some decent armor and stuff that can negate some of the effects of the lava. Although it's worth noting it doesn't last long, it's not like the lava persists and you'll take damage for every second you're inside it. Defeating this guy, you'll get a heat proof elixir and obviously Halugi's horn, and that's how you can make the Muspelheim maul and other weapons and armor pieces. So there we go, that's all for giants and some last few tips. Don't always panic when the giants are coming. You should always get a notification when they're either getting close to your village or they're about to enter the village. Obviously you might want to take them on a bit before then. There's conflicting advice. If you're playing the game a bit later on, your best bet is maybe to go ahead and defeat them as soon as possible. But at the very start of the game, at least the first one, don't panic, wait until like day 3, even maybe day 4 when it's getting closer and closer to the village, and you should be able to take it out relatively easily, unless like I said it's multiplayer and it's pretty full lobby. That said as well, the quicker you take them out, the more chance you get in some of them endgame resources, and you can craft much better weapons and armour, although you normally need a whole bunch more resources, so it won't be that quick that you're crafting late game gear. And Grabboda stops spawning her minions, I think, by the time she gets to the village. And they will need to destroy the gate before they can actually walk in and destroy the tree. They're so slow that area effect damage can be really beneficial, even if it is their damage type. So again, the Grabboda using the poison pool of life, that's a really good one. But here you can see as well, if I'd had a gate up, it would have took a few more seconds for Logi to be taken down. But that was a pretty close call when I first started playing tribes. They usually spawn on the second day, and then it takes a couple days for them to actually reach. And then again, usually another day, you get a day off, and they'll start spawning again on like day 6, I do believe. And I guess always make sure you've got a spare weapon just in case yours breaks, as it frequently will while you're wailing on the giant. And yeah, look out for other adds from encampments. That's why it's always a good idea to clear out any enemy encamps. I have focused a lot on the weapons, but of course you can get different armor sets that negate a lot of the elemental damage as well that they'll do sometimes. If you play in multiplayer, it's best that one of you concentrates on adds when you're dealing with Grabboda or any other mobs that might come around the area, and keep wailing on the giant. And I feel like they definitely could do with a giant's warning button for players that don't necessarily use voice chat. That definitely needs to be added, unless it's there and I just have missed it. If it gets to day 3 and no one has started taking on the giant in a multiplayer session, make sure you're the first one to go and start wailing on it. And the last thing you need to know, that there are certain achievements that you can get, or challenges, rewards, but you do need to be the last person to get the hit on the giant. So be greedy. If you're facing off against these and you haven't already got it, make sure you get that last hit in. But otherwise, once you've got that trophy or achievement, make sure you're friendly and let someone else get the final bit. You should all still get the same amount of loot. It's only that last hit to get that final little challenge. And there we go. If you found that useful, leave a like. Check out the rest of my guides from last year and the relevant new ones that I'm making. And I will see you rat bags soon. Bye bye.